We've talked about a lot of tools that we have in WebReader, and something that we haven't mentioned is screen burnout. And you might not think about screen burnout as being about accessibility, but it is. If you are not paying attention because you're so burned out from reading the screen all day, then you're not grasping what you need to be grasping. So far, we've talked about settings. We've talked about enlarged text, text mode, page mask. Of course, you can download and listen to your material if you wanted to. We've talked about the dictionary and translate and how they help us. But we have not talked about another tool that gives us a lot of advantage about listening to what we're hearing, because we can swap up from reading to listening. But if you listen to the same voice all day, it begins to sound like Charlie Brown's mom. Wah, 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 wah. But up here we have reading language. And let me explain one thing about reading language. It is not a translation tool. It should always match the language of the document that you're reading, whether that be a file like it is here, or if we are reading a document itself. Your reading language should always match it. It is not a translation tool. I keep emphasizing that. But depending on which voices you have, you should have male and female for each one. So you should automatically have female and male of the English. If you purchase the Spanish language, then you should have male and female of it. If you purchased French or Canadian French, you should have male and female of it. Whichever language packs you have, you should have both genders. If you don't, contact us and we will give you the other gender for that language pack. Like I said, you want to be able to change this up. So if I wanted to use the American English female voice, I could change to it. And notice that the tab did go to the left. That's because it's changing a voice engine. I could then look at this much and have it read aloud.
You may prefer to listen to information.
Okay, now I'm going to go back and change it to the male voice.
You may prefer to listen to information.
And you can hear the different voices. Students sometimes will choose to use one voice for one subject and another voice for a different subject. They may choose the voice based on the gender of the instructor. A male for a male instructor and a female for a female instructor. They may choose it as a subject area, like all their sciences, they want one gender, and all their liberal arts, they want a different gender. They may choose it just because they like that particular voice. So there's lots of things that could cause them to choose voice. Anything we can do to reduce screen fatigue or burnout helps. And changing voices, changing the text background and swapping over into text mode, using enlarged text. Again, here's the text mode button. Using a page mask. Anything that we can do that breaks that same way they have been looking at the screen helps to reduce the screen fatigue and burnout that our students are experiencing. And in this day and age, there's a lot of burnout going on.